Hello.
Hello.
Hey everyone. Welcome back to the AstoundCast, episode 65. And for once, I don't know what to call this one, so it's just going to be left as that.
Yeah, I'll think of something post-editing or whatever.
Cool. So, how's your week been?
Week has been okay. It's just been weekly things.
Yeah, uni stuff and all that.
It's been a weeky week. Week.
I can respect that.
Yeah, I can't think of any other way to describe the week other as weekly. Weekly week. Week. Week.
Love that.
How about your week then?
uh, Busy with a capital B-U-S and Y.
Why did I have to double check that spelling in my head?
But yeah, this week has been incredibly busy.
Yeah.
Thankfully, this week is going to be a lot easier. Yeah,
Okay.
this next week's going to be a lot easier, thank God. But last week, Jesus, I had something on every day, and now the F1 is on super late.
Oh, right.
Yeah, this week has been been a struggle.
Oh.
Like for example, qualifying last night was 11 p.m. until midnight.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, not good for my sleep pattern.
Who needs sleep?
Sure as hell it isn't me. Uh, but yeah, week hasn't been incredibly bad to be honest with you, other than it being incredibly busy. Um, but yeah, not much else has been going on really. Um, anyway, shall we move on to this week's F1 race, which hasn't actually happened yet?
Might as well. It just means that on Tuesday you're going to have to talk about that a bit more.
Yeah.
Or
Okay.
Wednesday.
So, this weekend's Formula One race, the US Grand Prix at Texas. Uh, at the moment, the Ferraris seem to be doing good.
Oh,
Like the Ferraris have been going really well all weekend. The Red Bulls have been uncharacteristically struggling a little bit. I've found
yeah.
they're not doing terribly. They're not like back of the grid, but they're not doing that typical front row lockouts. So I'm not sure what's going on there. Um, Mercedes as well have stepped up their game this weekend as well, bringing
Oh,
in their final upgrade for the season, which will kind of determine if this year's car concept is good is good enough to be the same sort of thing for next year's car.
yeah.
I mean, of course, they'll have been figuring that out throughout the season, but this is like the last upgrade to prove if the car concept does work.
Yeah.
Um, of course, we've also had a kind of driver announcement for next year, but it is conditional.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. If Logan Sargent, current Williams Junior driver, gets enough super license points in the final race of Formula 2 this year, he will be replacing Nicholas Latifi at Williams next season. Now, the super license was actually brought in as a result of Max Verstappen getting into F1 at the age of 16.
Hmm.
So they've kind of put a stop to that sort of thing now, and you have to have a certain amount of super license points to get into F1.
Yeah.
Um, and so far, well, actually, if Logan Sargent gets enough super license points in Abu Dhabi, which he can if he stays in the top 5 or 6 of the championship, which he's currently in third, so he's got a good chance. He will race for Williams next year?
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so that's one more seat taken up for next year. The only other seat remaining is Haas. Now, unfortunately, that press conference that was rumoured for Mick Schumacher and Haas hasn't yet come to pass.
Hmm.
So I'm not quite sure what's happening there.
Hmm.
Yeah, but I'm suspecting Mick Schumacher's going to be keeping his seat for next year. I mean, it sure as hell is not going to Antonio Giovinazzi, as on Friday he took Mick's car during FP1 for the mandatory reserve driver FP1 session, and he crashed it in 7 minutes.
Oh.
Yeah, he didn't do very well, and as a result, Mick Schumacher was still suffering from the gearbox issues as a result of the crash yesterday in practice 3. But yeah, the
E.
he did a number on the car, so I don't think the seat's going to Giovinazzi in any case.
Yeah. Jesus. Holy hell.
Yeah, it's probably going to be keeping. Mick Schumacher's probably going to keep the seat. I'll be very surprised if he doesn't. Um,
Hmm.
so I'm going to guess Mick Schumacher's going to keep his Haas seat, and the Williams seat is probably going to go to Logan Sargent, but Williams probably have a backup in case something goes wrong on that, but I have very little doubt that he will, because it'd be very hard to drop 3 places in the championship in one race.
Don't underestimate that because that could happen now that you've said it.
Fair, but I do find it incredibly unlikely, as Logan has been doing very well this season, but again, as you said, you never know. Could happen, but I find it very unlikely.
Unlikely, but not impossible.
Quite. So I'm hoping for that particular event that Williams do have a backup ready.
Hmm.
As for who that backup could be, God knows. Because
Hmm.
Nick DeVries has gone off to AlphaTauri, so it can't be him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope and pray that it is Logan Sargent for their sake. Because I'm not quite sure who else could take that seat. Because
Unfortunately, I'm as clueless as you, if not more.
because Jamie Chadwick, while being incredibly depressing, is out of contention because W Series frankly gives you a criminally low number of super license points.
Hmm.
It's it's genuinely tragic how few super license points you get from W Series,
Oh yeah.
and she'll have even less now than she would have at the end of the season because it's been cut short.
Oh damn.
Yeah, I can't remember if I ranted about this before, but the W Series has been cancelled for the rest of the season.
Oh geez, that's not good.
Yeah, there were 3 races left, and due to a lack of funding, it has been cancelled.
No, well, that's not fair.
No, it isn't. I'm very annoyed. Like, FIA, if you're gonna fund this thing, make sure you can fund it for the whole season. Like, you don't see Formula 2 or Formula 3 getting cancelled for underfunding.
Well, to be fair, have they been underfunded?
Sorry?
Have they been underfunded like a significant amount? Because depends on how
Um,
significant the amount was.
well, for the W Series, it was significant enough to cancel the last 3 races.
So it might have been like there was a lot more money.
Yeah, like, there should have been anyway. Like, I'm kind of disappointed, really.
Hmm.
But uh, it's just kind of disgusting that that's happened. Like,
Yeah.
and there's also talks now of a W Series feeder series. And I'm thinking, if you can't fund the main one, how on earth do you expect to fund a feeder series for it?
They give them a pebble, they're like, alright, have fun.
And not to mention, you have feeder series already. They're called Formula 2 and Formula 3.
Again, they just give them a pebble and be like, yeah, go on.
Yeah, like, I do find it kind of sad that they've made a women's racing series. No, put them in F1. They're clearly good enough. Like, why should there be a whole separate category? I don't understand that. Like, the cars are all the same.
Uh, yeah, but at the same time, with the models, they're gonna, depending on that, they might be able to make them slightly smaller for women because
Yeah,
they're probably going to have like women with a certain body type again, which means that they're
yeah,
able to make the cars smaller and more
mm,
aerodynamic.
yeah.
So again, it's just
But,
like any other sort of sports that they get women
mm,
in. They try and make sure that they have like a certain size, certain weight, just so they
yeah.
can make it like that, you know?
But I do want to point out that the W Series cars are, like, criminally slow.
Yeah.
Like, I have a very good reference point here. Miami.
Hmm.
The Formula One cars were going around that track averaging about a minute and a half.
Hmm.
Around that uh, around that mark. The W Series cars were averaging around 2 minutes.
Oh.
Yeah, 2 minutes per lap. A whole half a minute down on F1.
Hmm.
And that was coming from Jamie Chadwick, the fastest driver on the grid.
Oh right.
Yeah, the 2 minute mark was the best of the field.
Oh jeez.
Now you're seeing the problem?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I see the problem. I see a
Yeah,
glaring red flag.
yeah. Like, if you want to make the W Series the female equivalent of F1, and I don't quite understand how that works, because the car, like, a Ferrari's a Ferrari, doesn't matter if it's a man or a woman driving it. Make them
Yeah.
as quick as the F1 cars.
Yeah.
Like, if you stuck Jamie Chadwick in the Mercedes, she'd probably drive it just as quick as Lewis Hamilton.
Hmm.
Like, like this is one of the sports where it doesn't make a difference. Like, the car is the car. It's just how you drive it.
Hmm. Yeah, but again, I see minorly their point of view because
Mm.
of weight limits as well.
Yeah, that is one of the issues. Yeah, but I do want to point out the hypocrisy on F1's side.
Go
They
for it.
are de- they are desperate to get a woman in an F1 car,
Yep.
but as I mentioned a few moments ago, you have nowhere near enough super license points in the W Series to get into F1.
Ah, yeah.
It can't.
They shot themselves.
It mathematically cannot be done.
Yeah, no, they shot themselves with that one.
Yeah, just a bit. So, if they want a woman in an F1 car, might want to up the W Series points, super license points.
Might want to actually give them a chance, you know?
Because I know to get into F1 you need 40 super license points.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to quickly check how many super license points W Series gets you. I'm probably going to be very depressed at the answer.
Oh, yeah, you are definitely going to be depressed at the answer. I don't even know what the number is. I'm not searching it up.
Um, uh,
Mhm.
okay.
Get that research.
Oh, I'm a looking. I'm a looking.
You've got at least two functioning eyes more than I've got, so please.
um, nope, that's 2020. That doesn't count. Uh,
Hmm.
okay. Wow.
Wow.
I don't. Okay. It offers you 39 points.
Ah.
Oh, that is infuriating.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe that.
And yet you can, simply because it's on there.
Yep, it's there in black and white. Oh my god.
Well, luckily it's actually in black and white, otherwise you couldn't have made that statement.
Saying that though, IndyCar is even worse.
Oh.
Put it this way, Colton Herta was close to winning the championship this year in
Yeah.
IndyCar. Unfortunately, to get into F1, he does still have to do a winter racing series to get in.
Ah.
Yeah, so the W Series, the FIA needs to up the super points and super points allocation to get them into F1 because that's the goal.
Yep.
But if you're not giving them enough super license points, that's not going to happen.
It's kind of like they don't want any of that to happen, yet they complain about it.
Yeah, or like, okay, we want women in F1, but we're going to make it impossible to do so.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I will admit, Jamie Chadwick has probably the best chance, as she does have, obviously, that she is a Williams junior driver as well, which is why I bring her up in terms of that second Williams seat, in case Logan
Yeah.
Sargent doesn't meet the requirements. But again, unfortunately, even though she's won 3 Series championships,
Oh dear.
like, it's depressing. It really is. Because even Lewis Hamilton has said, okay, FIA, what the hell do you think you're doing?
Hmm.
Like, first of all, you make it impossible for them to join F1, and then you underfund them.
Yeah.
Like, that's a bit of a joke, really.
All right.
Yeah, so very depressing on that front. I'm not happy about it. I hope the FIA really gets their act together for next season. I really do.
Yeah.
Because there hasn't been a female driver in F1 since like the 60s, and she only did a test. She never
No.
actually raced. Yep, there was one female driver in the 60s, can't remember who she tested for, but it was a singular test, and even now, she's the only female to get into an F1 car.
That is abysmal.
Yep. Now you're seeing why I'm so mad about this.
To be fair, this is kind of like a feminist rant from you, and I'm just here supporting you.
Yeah, like, come on, FIA, if you want them there, let them get in.
Okay, I think I know how to name for this one, which is going to be the feminism episode.
Sure, why not?
Because we've got another topic to talk about later anyway, in order to talk about
Oh,
both women's rights and women's wrongs.
oh yeah. Anyway,
Well,
moving on
stuff
to
like that.
actually an incredibly depressing F1 topic.
Yep.
Had some very sad news from the Red Bull garage last night.
Oh, of course.
As a matter of fact, the founder of the entire Red Bull company passed away yesterday at age 78.
Oh dear.
Yeah, um, like it was about an hour before qualifying, and three of the F1 commentators, Martin Brundle, Danica Patrick, who used to be a NASCAR and IndyCar driver, which, by the way, just going back to this again, so females can get into NASCAR and IndyCar, but not F1. Huh, okay. And Simon Lazenby, who is like just a commentator, he's never actually done any racing,
Yeah.
was standing outside the Red Bull hospitality suite, and then filing in was the entire Red Bull team.
Wow.
And I'm talking like every person there, from Christian Horner, Helmut Marko, Max and Checo, hell, even the Formula 2 driver, Liam Lawson, along with every other Red Bull team member there that weekend, was dragged into the hospitality area, and their faces were like thunder.
Oh no.
It was initially suspected that it was cost cap news and what their punishment was going to be. And then, as they were coming out, Martin Brundle asked the head of communications for Red Bull if that was cost cap, and he straight up said, no, it isn't cost cap related.
Wow.
And then Martin speculated, well, Dietrich Mateschitz has been unwell for quite some time, so maybe he has passed on. And then about 10 minutes
Yeah.
later, cut back to them, and Simon said, okay, I can now confirm what Martin speculated earlier, and Dietrich Mateschitz has passed away.
Wow.
Yeah, and that was just before qualifying.
Gee. The question is, who's taking over?
Don't know. I'm gonna guess it's Helmut Marko,
Yeah.
as he co-founded Red Bull with Dietrich. But I don't know, because Helmut Marko is only a year older than Dietrich, actually, turns out.
All right.
Even though he admittedly looks a lot older, he's only a year older than him. But
Well,
I'm gonna
it's
guess.
gonna have to be him if he co-founded it, so it will just be solo, and then they'd have to find somebody younger to take their place.
Yeah. And that maybe explains Max and Checo's fairly poor performance in qualifying yesterday.
Yeah.
Because they only found out that news literally an hour before qualifying. And I'm actually going to give you the qualifying results now. I'll just pull them up on the F1 app.
Okie dokie, more research.
This only takes a second.
Becoming a rental
Right.
journalist, aren't you?
Learning from the best.
I don't do sport.
Oh, okay. I say relatively poor performance, but then it's a Red Bull 2-3.
Yes. Terrible performance. Second and third.
Although considering how Red Bull have been, it ain't great for them. Like, they'd be doing 1-2s like they're going out of fashion.
Yes, as soon as they slip down to third, yep, no, terrible, get them off. Get them off.
Well, I mean, but let's face it, that did probably factor into that.
Yeah.
Because again, comparative to the rest of the season, Max Verstappen's final lap was pretty sloppy.
Yeah.
He was missing a lot of the apexes. He was losing the rear end a lot. He was going wide a little bit. It was a pretty sloppy lap, to be honest, and maybe that probably did factor into it. And actually, just before qualifying, Simon Lazenby did actually manage to catch Christian Horner to have a word with him.
Oh, yeah.
Because without Dietrich, Christian Horner wouldn't be team principal at Red Bull. He literally gave him the job. Yeah. So it hit a lot of people very hard yesterday. In fact, Sebastian Vettel after hearing the news himself, went into the Red Bull garage and hugged Helmut Marko because, well, Dietrich helped Seb a lot as well.
Yeah.
So it looks as if Nick de Vries was the last driver to be signed under Dietrich.
Hmm.
Yeah, so it's going to be a weird race tomorrow. And
Yeah.
you can write this one down in the history books, okay?
Find me a book, I'll start writing.
I hope Max Verstappen wins so we can dedicate it to Dietrich.
Yep, no, I'm going to have to frame that instead.
Yep, like I said, write that one down, because it'll probably be the only time I ever say it.
Oh no, I'm going to not only write it, I'm going to frame it. I'm going to keep that audio clip just specifically for that one time. I'm going to send it to you as your ringtone.
But yeah, I do genuinely hope Max wins tomorrow so we can dedicate it to him. Or hell, even Checo. Either of them.
Hmm.
I mean, hell, if you
Let's
want to go
hope.
completely nuts, you could give the win to Yuki Tsunoda or Pierre Gasly.
Well, let's see what happens.
Yeah, but I hope one of them wins so they can dedicate it to him, because I have little to no doubt that they will.
Yeah.
And, actually, just one last thing about Red Bull. It turns out the punishment for them overspending last year has been decided.
Hmm.
However, in light of Dietrich's passing, the announcement has been delayed a couple of days.
Yeah, that
Which
makes
makes
sense.
sense. Yeah, that does make a lot of sense. But okay, so we know what's happened. Well, we know that something is happening, just no clue what yet.
Well,
Which is slightly frustrating, I can't lie.
I will just give them a break for a minute. They just had their
Yeah,
founder pass away.
yeah, yeah. I can't understand that. To be fair, like I don't blame them, but that was more the FIA's decision, really. But again, fair enough.
Anyway,
Yeah, I mean, that is it for this week's motorsport section, as the race hasn't actually even started yet.
hmm.
And will not start until 8 o'clock.
No.
Yeah, yeah, it's that bad. And while I'm watching that, I'm actually going to be multitasking.
Oh yeah.
Because I plan to have Doctor Who on my TV and the race on my iPad as they are on at the same time.
Honestly, yeah,
Yay.
that doesn't surprise me at this point. This is the same person who would ask in the middle of a D&D session if they can go and sit in the other room just to watch the motor racing.
Yeah, I mean, in my defense, it was the first F1 sprint race. I wanted to see how it worked. So I did.
Your character wasn't doing as badly this time.
Plus the fact I believe they were playing Magic the Gathering at that point in the session.
Uh, I no, I
As
think we
if it
took a
was,
break for I think no, I think we took a
yeah,
break for lunch, and then while we took that break, you decided that you needed to go and watch that, so then we decided to play
yeah,
Magic because
yeah,
you were busy. Otherwise, it would have continued.
that sounds about right. I mean, bit of a waste of time anyway. It didn't. I do remember it didn't quite go the way I wanted it to.
I mean, if you had like one of those giant chargers on you, you could have just plugged it in on your phone, had that up on your phone while you were playing your character.
You know what? I could have. I
Yeah,
could have. However, hindsight is definitely 2020.
it was 2021, but close enough.
Okay, that was a good one.
Sorry.
Okay, that was good. That was quick more than anything.
I was on autopilot. It just happened to come out.
Good. um. Oh, I really need the snacks now to fly by. I want to watch this Doctor Who episode. Ah,
Well, you've still got half an hour of a stream left.
I know. I mean, saying that, I'm also looking forward to the former companions who are returning in this episode.
Alright, what companions?
They're actually from the classic Doctor Who era.
Ooh.
We have the return of Tegan, who was companion to Tom Baker's Doctor, the fourth, Peter Davidson, the fifth, and we have the return of Ace, who was the seventh Doctor's last companion, so she was there during the last episode before the cancellation. So I'm very curious to see where those two characters are one over nearly 40 years after they left and just over 30 years after they left.
Yeah.
Because it's been a long time, and I believe Ace has even gotten involved with UNIT now, so she's pretty high up in the well, I think she's one of the heads of UNIT now, which is the main alien hunt. Well, not so much alien hunting, but like the alien investigation organization of the British government, which the Doctor works quite closely with.
Ooh.
And has done for an incredibly long time.
Hmm.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to this episode for those two. And, of course, the return of Kate Lethbridge-Stewart, as I mentioned yesterday. And, of course, David Tennant, because David Tennant.
To be fair, anything with David Tennant is just because David Tennant, if you're gonna watch it.
I mean, yeah. I know he's only going to be in it for like a minute maximum, but it's something.
It's like the cameo of Cher in Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again. People just went to the cinema to watch like a couple of minutes of that, and she got a bunch of awards for it.
Yeah. Yeah. And, fun fact about this episode, the premiere was last week in London. Guess who was there?
Oh?
Our favourite green boy, Dream.
Wait, he was in London?
Yeah, for the premiere.
If I knew that, I would have taken a trip there yesterday.
Yeah, like, he was actually in London for the premiere. I wonder if that's why he did the face reveal.
Maybe, or the fact that George just moved in, so if they're gonna have like streams together, then they don't have to like hide him under a box.
I mean, it could be both.
Both works?
Like, really, yeah.
Well, he'd be going to conventions as well, so it also helps.
Yeah, so Dream was actually there for the episode, and apparently he said it was very good.
Yeah, I should keep an eye on Twitter a bit more now.
However, something that gets me very curious about this one is that apparently in the premiere they cut out the last 5 minutes of the episode.
No.
But that does tell me that something huge is going to happen in those last 5 minutes.
Seems about right.
Because let's face it, if that was in the premiere, it'd be leaked.
Oh, yeah.
So, what on God's earth is going to happen that is so big that they had to cut it out of the premiere?
Someone dies, probably.
or we do see a bit more of David Tennant than we were suspecting.
Hmm. All the conspiracy theories today.
Like, and there is one particular theory that's been going around that I do not subscribe to at all.
Oh.
Be interesting, but no. Some people are theorizing that David Tennant is actually going to be, this is weird, the new master.
Oh, geez, that's a weird one.
Yeah, yeah, but on the other hand, nah. I
Hmm.
no. He's been, from what I've been seeing on set of the 60th anniversary episode, he's been way too doctory.
Yeah.
Like, he's been acting way too much like the Doctor to be the Master. I very much doubt that.
Hmm.
And I think a lot of the fandom would absolutely lose their minds if that happened.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's going to be the case. I definitely think he's coming back as the Doctor, but I don't quite know how he's going to work. Like, because there's a lot of logic leaps having to be made here. He's the 14th Doctor, but he's also reverting back to the 10th. It's.
Getting trippy.
Hmm?
Getting a bit trippy then.
Yeah, like. I don't quite know how it's going to work because, well, we haven't seen any of this new version of David Tennant. If he acts the same, we can basically say it's the return of the 10th Doctor, but he's also the 14th. Ugh. It is going to be a spectacularly odd one, I can't lie.
Seems like it.
Yeah, but I do hope the rest of the episode's good as well. I hope that doesn't. I hope those last 5 minutes don't have to carry the episode. I really hope.
Yeah.
Because this episode is 90 minutes long.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'm really hoping that this episode doesn't lie on the rest on the laurels of the last 5 minutes.
Hmm.
Because with David Tennant, it very easily could.
Oh.
But because as you said a few minutes ago, anything that David Tennant's in, because David Tennant,
Yeah.
and they could take full advantage of that and have the rest of the episode be an absolute dumpster fire. But I really, really hope that it doesn't.
Oh. Yeah.
Because from what I've heard about the rest of the Chibnall era, the Chris Chibnall here, who is currently the writer, hasn't been the best.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I. It's gonna be weird. But I do know that the David Tennant section is more than likely going to be Russell T Davies because there is some Russell T Davies written parts in this episode, and it is roughly about a minute or two of footage, a minute or two of script. So it does look like David Tennant's part will be Russell T Davies written.
Oh.
And we know that's going to be good because, well, Russell T Davies was the writer throughout the entire original David Tennant's era.
Yeah.
So he knows what he's doing with the character.
Oh yeah.
And that does give me a little bit of an inkling that David is just going to be the 10th Doctor again.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just looking forward to it. Don't get me wrong, I'm worried because, again, they could just rest on the laurels of David Tennant being there for the last couple of minutes. But every part of me hopes that they don't do that.
See what happens.
Hmm. Because as I mentioned in my video yesterday, there's like a gajillion different plot threads throughout this episode as well that we've seen in the trailers alone.
Mm.
Because in the trailers we've seen that some of the Earth's top seismologists have been going missing, along with some random paintings from a gallery, and the master is apparently Rasputin.
Yeah, no, this very much sounds like a fever dream.
How on earth does that all fit together?
It's like a jigsaw, but with no corners.
Yeah, like Rasputin, seismologists, paintings.
Yeah,
Yeah, and that's all the plot points that we know.
I'm just happy to hear about that. That's just the entire episode now.
Yeah, but think about it. How on God's earth do you tie that all together?
David Tennant?
I mean, I guess, but also, no.
Yes.
I'm just
This
thinking,
just sounds so stupid.
yeah, I mean, if you want to watch it, it's on BBC One at 7:30.
No, I'm gonna eat dinner, ain't I?
Yeah, fair enough.
You know, student things.
Yeah, true. But yeah,
Well,
I'm looking forward to it, but I'm also hesitant.
yeah.
Because the episode has a lot of potential to be good. But from what I've heard about Chris Chibnall's writing from the past couple of years, he doesn't quite know how to do that.
Hmm.
And even seeing the most recent episode aired back in April, it was okay. It was it wasn't god awful, but it wasn't exactly one to write home about.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm slightly concerned because again, there is a lot of pressure on this episode just with David Tennant, but I really hope they don't just rely on that.
Hmm.
But I'm going to actually kind of link this into the other thing I wanted to talk about tonight.
Okay.
Liz Truss will be the only Prime Minister in the history of Doctor Who to not have an episode air under her reign.
To be fair, Liz Truss has just broken a lot of records for a lot of things right now.
Including the shortest leadership of a Prime Minister in British history.
Including not lasting longer than a lettuce.
That is also true. What the hell? Imagine not outliving a lettuce.
Could be Liz Truss.
Yeah, like, I.
She got to less. She got over a month. Thought maybe I shouldn't do this, and then halfway through that second month, she was like, "Yeah, I'm out."
Yeah. Like, okay, first month, okay, that was a bit rough. 15 days into the second one, nah, I'm out.
It's like, yeet, no.
Yeah, like, as soon as I saw the words, there will be a announcement from Downing Street, I thought, okay, there we go. And then I saw her husband come out, and I thought, oh, she's off.
Yeah,
Like, it was her husband that clued me in. I thought, okay, there we go.
there we go.
Off you trot.
Hmm.
Also, would you like some spectacular news on who our MPs are supporting?
Go for it.
Simon Baines, my MP, is supporting Rishi Sunak.
Okay.
IMO, a safe bet, as he's got like 120 backers, so. And he has now confirmed he's running, so there's our new Prime Minister.
Maybe.
And would you like to know who Sarah Atherton's supporting?
Go for it.
You're gonna cry.
I've got the tissues, don't worry.
She's back in Boris.
Nah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
God.
She's backing Boris goddamn Johnson. Again!
Oh, not again. Come on.
Yeah, because she was even supporting him when he was on his way out the first time.
Oh, dear.
And now she wants him back. Ugh.
Of course.
Yeah, throw the country into some more turmoil. Woo!
Woo, we love a dystopian.
Like, let's face it, if he comes back, the pound will crash.
Look, the pound went up as soon as she left.
But if he gets back in, the pound will plummet to literally nothing.
The pound will be worth less than the dollar, and that would be hilarious, but also terrible.
The pound will be Thanos.
The pound would automatically turn into a euro.
Like, seriously. Why? Why in God's name is he trying to run again? And why in God's name would you support him?
I don't know.
Like, okay, if anyone outside of Britain is watching this right now, help us. Please.
Please, just give us your thoughts on this, because this is just ridiculous.
Like, I'm sorry, but right now, Britain is the laughing stock of the planet.
To be fair, I think a cat would do better. Like the places
Larry.
that have Larry in charge.
Larry
The
the
places
cat for Prime Minister.
the places that no, this is for real though. The places that have cats or animals as their like mayors or leaders do so much better than here.
I know, and that's kind of sad.
It is. Can we just have a cat for leader?
Like, I want to point out, a century ago, Britain owned a quarter of the planet.
Yeah.
Now, we can barely keep a Prime Minister in for 2 months. Like,
Thing is, this will be whoever is going to be prime minister next is going to be sworn in. It'll be the first one that the new king swears in.
yeah, that is true. But,
Liz noped at the right time.
and, this is funny. A few days before
Yep.
Liz Truss decided to retire, she went to visit the king, actually.
Oh, come on.
The king was audibly heard saying the words, "Oh dear, oh dear."
You know what? Nah, as much as I don't do royal stuff, I respect that from him.
And let's be honest, when you've lost the support of the king, it's time to go.
Look, you were sworn in via the queen and then she noped out. If both of them don't support you, you know there's something wrong.
Yeah! And I love this. Wednesday, Liz Truss in the
Yep.
House of Commons during PMQs. I'm a fighter, not a quitter. Thursday,
Well,
I'm resigning.
I think she bragged too much about the fact she didn't go to a normal school like the others, and a little less on what she's supposed to do for the country.
Yeah, but I love that. Like, Wednesday, I'm a fighter, not a quitter. Thursday, I'm resigning.
The thing is, she's ended up contradicting herself on a lot of things.
Including that one.
Yeah, that was the biggest one.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, Britain is now the laughing stock of the world. No one can convince me otherwise.
Just yeah, to be fair, America's not even that anymore. They have Donald Trump's out of power, so of course
Yeah,
they don't have that.
they're doing okay at the moment. Like, yeah. But I would
What?
love to point out that We will now have the 5th Chancellor of the Exchequer in 5 months.
Wow.
We've had a new Chancellor every month since June.
Oh my goodness, though.
Yeah. I will say one thing. If Boris does come back, the first PMQs are gonna be gold. Keir Starmer will rip him limb from limb.
Mm.
He will have him on a plate.
Oh, yeah.
But to be honest, I give it about a week before a general's called. There's going to be a general election soon.
Yeah, generally elected to not want to vote now.
Huh?
I am generally elected to not want to vote.
No? But it has to happen soon, surely.
Yeah.
I mean, wait, what did you say then? You have registered to vote? Your audio kept cutting out.
Oh, don't worry, you are too.
Oh, great. Great.
Just seeing how long I can get away with just responding to you until we both point out that we're cutting out, you know?
Yeah, but honestly, a general election needs to happen soon. 3 prime ministers in the space of a year is unheard of.
Oh, yeah.
It just has not happened before, so if a general election isn't called soon, I will be very surprised.
Yeah.
Anyway, is there anything else you want to talk about today?
No, I don't believe there's anything else I can think of.
No? Okay. You up for wrapping this one up a little bit early then?
Yeah, we can put a bow on it so then you can wallow in the misery of waiting for Doctor Who.
Yeah, I'm gonna love that. Anyway, guys, that's gonna do it for
Yeah.
this week's AstoundCast. Episode 65. Probably gonna be called a feminism stream, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
So, if you're here on stereo, thank you for watching for this whole hour. Almost. Please give me a follow at Astounding Cameron and Roxanne at Roxo. Or, if you're on YouTube, please subscribe. The sub button will be just below the video title, and if you click the video title, you'll be heading into the description, at which point you'll see Frost's Instagram and YouTube, as well as Roxanne's YouTube and website, as well as all my social medias in the link tree. And that's it for this stream, unless...
Anybody over the age of 18 can be Prime Minister.
Okay, I'm running for Prime Minister. Oh, wait, no, I'm not. Nah.
Yeah. In the UK, any member of Parliament can become Prime Minister, which means anyone over 18 can take the role.
Wow. That is weird.
Yeah, so if anybody's really wanting to be a politician by the time they're 18, please. I think you would run the country better.
Yeah. And on that, frankly, really strange fact, guys, I'll see you tomorrow with another YouTube video and next week with another stream. Goodbye!
Bye!